Hello everyone, it's Seymour27. Since we've done both of the parallel quests that are available to us now, we're going to go back to the story. The story of this game skips around quite a bit, which is another reason why people will most likely get really confused when they see certain things happen. So my apologies ahead of time. Like I said, if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask in the comments, like, what are those things? What the heck are those green things? Or, what's going on? Why wasn't Goku here the first time? Why wasn't Goku here at the start? So, stuff like that. And I can answer some of those questions. I don't think I've actually said it, but you can probably tell I like Dragon Ball. I really like it. It's probably one of my most coveted childhood shows that I watched as a kid. I actually wasn't really too into the games, mostly because most of them were on PlayStation 2, and I didn't have a PlayStation 2 as a kid. And we do now, but I obviously don't have too much time on my hands to actually play PS2. God forbid if I actually started playing it now, because I'd probably fail a lot of my classes. There's a lot of games on the PS2 I'd like to play, like Rogue Galaxy and stuff like that, but that's for another day.
I would really appreciate your help.
Also, don't ask questions like don't ask like, well, if there are other time patrols in the town, why aren't they helping you? I don't know. There's no good answer for any of that. There's just simply no good answer. I don't know how to explain it to you. So the good thing about story missions, though, is that there are no ultimate finishes. There are no items to get. You just go through the mission, and you win. And that's pretty much it. That being said, some of the conditions are actually kind of hard. So, like, actually winning is kind of hard sometimes, especially during the end. But for the most part, the story is really easy, and it's really easy, especially if you're doing the parallel quests, because the parallel quests are there to help you level up for the next one.
Are you an ally?
We haven't talked about clashes yet, have we? There are no beam clashes in this game. They're only hit clashes like that. And when you do a hit clash, both of you will take a percentile of your HP in damage. It can't kill you, so that's one thing to point out. You get a lot of ki and you get a lot of stamina back for doing it. I don't think you would want to actually proc it on purpose, although it's probably possible to. It just kind of happens. I get the feeling that there aren't any beam flashes in this game because it's multiplayer. Because if you had a beam flash, it would probably like ruin the flow of the battle. Grabs kind of interfere with the flow of battle too, but grabs, if you're flailing your enemy around and you hit opponents as you're flailing them around, it counts. You can actually hit them with it. So there's that.
Come on, try harder.
This story mission is a good example of you being outnumbered, although it's not nearly as hard as some of the later ones. These guys are just Cybermen, so they're just kind of fodder. There are a lot of them, though. That guy is creepy as hell. And now it's a 5-on-1, so happy day. If you actually do have trouble with this, I recommend just running away and just shooting beams when you can. Evil Explosion is pretty good. Evil Explosion has a wide range of influence, so there's that. Or doing knockback combos works as well. Long combos like the ones I'm doing are actually bad. I probably shouldn't be doing those, but I can't really help what I've done in the past, so we're happy.
Damn you!
Yeah, see? Got rid of like one of them just by doing an Evil Explosion. I suppose even though I said the ultimates are bad, I suppose it wouldn't be bad to use it here. I guess that's kind of what they're getting at. but it's not that important. Oh, here I learned how to teleport after a combo. I recently asked my friend how he did it. For most cases, when you do a knockback, or when you do a knockback in which you throw them upwards, downwards, or whatever direction you want, you usually just teleport into them and do a crash, and just hit their spine or something like that. But if you press X when you knock them away, you can teleport to the other side and continue the combo. That actually takes up your stamina though, so be careful with that. It takes up 2 bars to do it during a combo. The tutorial isn't exactly clear on it, although I give it credit for trying to teach you. It says like when you're attacking you can teleport, but they make it seem like you should be doing it when they're blocking you or something like that, because hitting someone from the back, I believe, makes it unblockable. But they didn't mention that you can use it during chase downs, and that's one of the key components of doing combos in this game. Ah yes, the only Saiyan with a mustache. And we will never see what happens when he goes Super Saiyan. Oh well.
Now comes the real fight.
For the most part, when we do stories like this, we're just gonna go through the entire saga, or at least as much as we can, because if we don't, the episodes that you're currently watching will be really, really short, especially early on. A lot of these battles are really short, especially because I'm doing them right, and I have a really focused build. If I was a general purpose build, it would probably take a lot longer to do this. I suppose a lot of you would probably have questions, where it's like, what actually happened, or was that supposed to happen, or stuff like that. Yeah, feel free to ask about those too, I guess, because you're not going to get any answers from this. The game really relies on you, like, knowing what was supposed to happen in the story. Another thing, there's this, you can see it right here, there's like this little juggle system that happens whenever a character bounces off the floor, the wall, or the ceiling. And normally, by yourself, you can't take advantage of it. And if you can, you usually get like one hit off. This juggle state, you can notice it when they bounce off off the ground. You can still hit them, and off the wall when you see like a little shockwave hit the wall, you can combo afterwards. The ceiling doesn't have an indicator for that, but some races can continue the combo over and over again because of the way hitstun works. For the most part, knowing about that ground bounce is for connecting beams.
What the heck are you doing here?
Once your opponent lies flat on the ground, they cannot be hit off the ground, and they get invincibility frames until they get back up again. Another thing I'd like to mention is there are grades for the story missions. I don't think it's too important to get Z's on them, at least in terms of recording, so some of the grades will be bad. I know I got a C in one of them, even though I think I did quite well. Those of you who have played the game are probably feeling the same sentiment when you feel like you kicked ass, but in the end you actually got like nothing. I don't think I'll be getting D's though, so there's that. Another thing I'd like to mention is that in fights, people with a purple life bar, those are the bosses. They will have higher stats than anything else in the mission, including parallel quests, so watch out for the purple dudes.
Good luck. Very well. Both of you come out.
Oh, another thing I'd like to mention is that CPUs seem to be able to do evasive attacks as much as they freaking want, and it's kind of beyond me how they do it or how it's programmed, but for some reason, if you play the game and if you watch me play the game, you'll notice that they just do a lot of evasive skills, and if you for those who aren't actually playing the game and don't understand, the evasive skill is something you can do while you're in hit stun, and it's basically a combo breaker, and it takes up 3 bars of your stamina. It's like a more expensive version of your teleport when you're getting hit, except it's used for getting multiple enemies off you or for doing a little bit of damage. And the enemies seem to be able to do it a lot. I don't know whether it's because they actually have like that much stamina, or whether or not like me hitting them gives them stamina, because I don't get stamina for getting hit. I don't know why they would, but or they're just a computer and they just get to have infinite stamina or something like that. But hey, whatever.
Damn you! In that case, I guess I'll just have to become a great ape! What? Burst open and mix! No way!
Do I even want to bother explaining why this ape thing happens?
Now you see. This is the
You know, I think this one time I'll explain what's going on. When a lot of the Z fighters in this game that can go Super Saiyan and stuff like that, these Saiyans, they usually have a tail. Some of them have tails, and if they have a tail and they see the moon, they turn into that giant thing. Later on, you'll see like none of this. This is like the only. This is probably out of like 1 of 2 fights in which you fight an actual great ape, without DLC or anything like that, because no DLC has actually come out. So you only fight this thing like twice, which is kind of interesting that they kept it in, even though you don't do much of it.
I see. Now I get it.
And later on, you'll see none of it, mostly because everyone just cuts off the
The
tail,
one that destroyed the arena.
because the tail is like a weak point.
That was all.
And all you gotta do during these fights is just spam grab at the tail. That's all you gotta do. And of course, to grab, you press, you do guard and key blast, and that's how you grab. It's useful, so make sure you get into the habit of it.
He became a great ape, but he'll turn back if we cut his tail off.
And every time you grab the tail, there's a chance he'll just fling you off.
Hey guys!
Let Krillin cut off the tail. All you have to do is fight to protect them.
Excuse me. Overall, fighting the Great Ape is pretty easy. In fact, I would probably say it's probably the easiest fight in the game. Destructo Disc. That move is not very good in this game. It's good, but not very good. It's too bad.
Incredible. Absolutely.
See there, I got the
incredible.
grappler in my evaluation criteria because I did a bunch of grabs. If you ever see like a medal you've never gotten before, you should look over and see what you did to get that medal, because it's pretty useful to know. Also, I haven't really addressed it, but all these dudes that we're fighting have this purple aura around them. That's
Back to normal.
story-based.
You bastards!
And I guess the game kind of explains more of it later.
Aren't you?
Yes. You got him out of the Great Ape form. Now, go and defeat Vegeta.
See there, you can kind of see that was a grab, by the way. So you can see like Vegeta did an evasive skill on me, and I think like a few seconds later he will be doing it again. And I'm not quite sure how they get to do it all the time, but they do. if you use a scouter on them, you can see their level, and sometimes I swear it makes no sense as to how they have so much stamina that they can just do the evasive skill over and over. Like I've seen, and there it is again. Where did he get the stamina for that? You only get stamina in this game by standing still, or just move around. You don't get stamina by punching or kicking. You only that's an ultimate. You only get stamina for standing still, doing a clash, or just walk. But you get stamina for not doing an action. Basically, you can walk around and fly and stuff like that. Actually, you can't fly. You can float around. Flying takes stamina too. And there's another way to get it, which is a move called Energy Drain, which is something we don't get because of the strike skill. But we'll see it later on. See there? You see my ultimate attack? It didn't do anything. I could have just done 3 Kamehamehas and done more damage than that. And you can't combo into ultimates, which is kind of disappointing. Ow. Not being able to combo a lot of things kind of sucks, actually. But hey, we got by. It was easy enough. So, there you have it. I guess I'll try to change the colors of my character as well. At least the clothing. Just to keep it fresh. I would just randomly change races or characters as we go through, but unfortunately you can't have more than one character until you beat the story. So there's that. So we won't be seeing any of that kind of action until we actually beat the story, which is kind of unfortunate, but at the same time it's also fair, I guess. They gotta give you some reason for beating the story, since the story doesn't actually give you any rewards besides money.
On my own.
That's actually it. The only thing you get from being story mode is the only thing you get from being story missions are money, and unlocking other parallel quests and characters. Which I suppose is a lot if you think about it, but still, I mean the missions themselves don't give you anything. So there you go.
The scroll of eternity has been corrected.
Man, I am hungry.
Still, why did something like this even happen?
And Trunks asks the ultimate question, how did this happen?
Like this.
It seems
You'd figure that
just like how you did in the
someone
past.
that
Right,
had
Trunks?
Dragon Balls would have a better grasp of the situation. I don't know what I'm gonna do about these anime cutscenes. If I get flagged for them, I guess I'll just have to keep the video non-monetized. But I don't know. I guess we'll take our chances.
Hello.
Hello there. This is the master of the time.
By the way,
Maze.
I'm not
She's the
particularly
supreme
fond
Kai
of this
time,
character.
and a very important person. She manages the flow of time
For
throughout
many
the entire
reasons.
universe, keeping a close eye on history and
Multiple
protecting it.
reasons. Too many reasons to
What the-
count.
What are you doing?
Really?
I do have to say though, the animation is pretty good. Although it's clearly GT style, as opposed to like DBZ or anything else. Which I suppose is fair, I guess, considering that GT, the only thing better about it was that the animation was like more clear, crisp, and colorful.
As I said, she's a very important person.
But that's just another tangent,
Just
I guess.
trust me.
Anyway, we'll be dealing with her now that she's here. So there you have it.
Supreme Kai of Time?
Oh, sorry. Anyhow, you must be the warrior Shinron summoned. I'm the Supreme Kai of Time. Nice to meet ya.
You know, she may not seem like it, but she's in quite a high position in the universe.
By the way, that bird you saw just now? That's my best friend, Toki Toki.
Best friend that steps on you, maybe.
This is good. You guys seem quite talented. In other words, I think you two
I
make a
highly
good
disagree with that
team.
statement, considering Trunks never helps us,
Thank you
except
very
for
much.
one moment in the
Sadly,
game.
Until we find the cause.
Spoiler alert, he only helps us
It's far
once.
from
I don't even,
over.
is that a spoiler? It doesn't really matter.
What
You
in the
do all the
world is
work,
happening?
basically.
Seems there are two time travelers with strange.
It kind of sucks that
And they're
it's
messing with the
established that
flow
way,
of
but
time.
I guess it makes sense that
I
future
don't know
Trunks
what
can't do
they're up
anything
to,
else
but I'll
because
tell
he
you
is
what.
now Kanan.
I have a bad.
He's
feeling
already
about
screwed with
this.
time once. I suppose he can't screw with time again.
Time-traveling duo. Who could that be? Let's
So he just
start
kind of
by
helped us
finding
once,
them.
and that's
Let's
it.
do this.
So that's that for this story. Now that we've done that, we can interact with people online. So hopefully, we'll be able to do some multiplayer matches later. You can recruit players by just looking at them. I don't recommend doing that because they act just like a Z fighter. If they're it costs money too, so I guess that's another reason why. I mean, I guess if you were really having trouble with something, you could, like, I don't know, you could pay a level 80 to help you with it, but in the end, you're better off just like having a level 80 actually be there. For one, it's free, and secondly, they're actually going to be able to control their character and do stuff. So yeah, that's just me. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.
Yep,